know one truth. It's time for the Jedi to end.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, if the movie is half as good as the trailer, I'm going to be blown away. So, thanks for coming to watch the show, guys. Obviously, we're going to be talking about Star Wars again today. Just based on that trailer, I just wanted to address a little bit of a topic that a lot of people have been talking in. That is, what does Luke mean when he says it's time for the Jedi to end? There's been a lot of speculation on this topic and several different theories floating around, and I just wanted to share mine with you guys. I think this makes a lot of sense, and a lot of the people I've seen talk about it seem to feel the same way. So, of course, we know that movie trailers are often edited to sometimes make you feel like the tone of the movie is going to be different than it is. This is usually used to misdirect an audience so they're surprised when the movie is actually shown to them. So, Luke saying it's time for the Jedi to end could just be a clever editing trick to make us think that he's saying something that he's not. It could be taken out of context, or it could be that he means it in a way that's not readily apparent. However, if we look at the marketing of the movie so far and various images from the trailer, it seems that this one is going to be a little bit darker, just kind of more gritty, a little bit more higher stakes. If Disney is going to continue to stick to the safe route of trying to kind of pay homage to and emulate the original trilogy, then it would make sense that the second in the series would be somewhat darker and not as bright as the first. Just the fact that the logo is in red lettering sends out a signal about how this movie will play out. This has led to speculation that Luke will actually become evil in this installment and will turn to the dark side, kind of following in his father's footsteps. And if you take his statement at face value, it might lead you to feel that way. If he wants the Jedi to end, it might make sense for you to think that he means it's time for the Sith to begin again. However, I feel like there is a little bit of a different explanation for this statement. Although Disney has done away with the extended universe that a lot of us knew and loved, some of the things that they decided to keep are actually making their way into the movies. And one of the concepts that they kept was that of a gray Jedi. And if you watch the Clone Wars TV show, which I didn't watch very much of it, but I knew some parts of it, and that is canon. The whole show is considered to be part of the actual story that Disney is going with. And in that show, there was a Jedi named Ahsoka Tano, and I believe she's made her way over to the new Star Wars TV show that's on right now, Star Wars Rebels. And in that show, Star Wars Rebels, Ahsoka is actually a gray Jedi. So, for those of you who don't know what a gray Jedi is, it basically means a Force user that accepts both sides of the Force, not just one, not just a Jedi or not just a Sith. They understand that the Force is not a one-sided entity, and therefore it should not be used in that way. While the Sith gain their power through strength and anger, the Jedi get it through peace and serenity, but both sides are limited in their own ways. The world as we know it is hardly ever black and white when it comes to matters of good and evil, so it would make sense for something like the Force to require a more broad understanding than just Jedi and Sith. A lot of people wonder what Luke was doing on the island all by himself during The Force Awakens. Why wasn't he helping with the First Order? Why didn't he come to the aid of his friends when they needed him? Well, my theory is that Luke was trying to come to a better understanding of the Force, and that's why we see kind of that small cutaway during the trailer of the ancient books in the trailer that I believe to be old tomes containing both Jedi and Sith teachings. Luke obviously went the light side of the Force route, as we can see his transformation from just the learner in A New Hope to a full-on Jedi in Return of the Jedi. And we also know through The Force Awakens that he established a Force Academy for the Jedi, but Kylo Ren destroyed all of those efforts when he turned to the dark side. So, Luke also knows the downfalls of the dark side because of the example his father, Darth Vader, set. So, he did all this work to make the Academy for the light side, but still people just didn't really respond to it in the way that he had hoped. And he also knows that Darth Vader basically destroyed his whole life by going on the dark side. So therefore, Luke probably has come to the realization that neither side has the whole picture. He wants to end both Jedi and Sith teachings in their traditional sense and show the future Force users that there is good information on both sides of this equation. That's what I think Luke means when he says they need to end. Of course, none of us are really going to know until the movie comes out this December, but it's fun to speculate, and I think this theory has some solid ground to stand on. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and feel free to suggest a topic that you'd like me to talk about in my next video. It doesn't really have to be Star Wars. I can talk about, Marvel. I can talk about DC, Justice League's coming up. Just anything you guys would like me to talk about. If I'm going to be honest, I know more about Star Wars than just about any other, fantasy, fictional thing. But, I'll do my best to kind of talk about whatever you guys are into. So, have a good one. Thanks for watching the show.